Good morning. This is going to be my weekly twin flame video. I had a week off, and as y'all know, I spent a week with mine. There was lots of triggering, and I judged it. I was like, this is bad. No, don't get me wrong, we had a great time, but I really was able to see as a result, because I had, a 6-hour drive yesterday, and then I meditated last night, and I got up this morning and I meditated some more, and I really got to see that codependency was still a major factor, and it really took this trip for me to be able to see that. In fact, the trip in itself was codependent. But my guidance was that these trips and these visits were necessary, because they did help me to clear over and over again, and help me to raise my consciousness more and more. But the trip in itself it's gotten to where now I realize how codependent it was. And like I have said before, you cannot mess up on this journey, because it's all being divinely guided, and everything is leading you to where you need to be at. And not only was I allowed to see how codependent the trip was, because I would go hard for trips, work my ass off, and I got to get there to see him. If I don't take care of this beach trip or this vacation, then he'll go with someone else or whatever else. And not just that, but this trip, everything about him triggered me. Everything. I was to the point where I was like, he is such an asshole. And I understand, that's my energy. In fact, I was able to come to terms with the fact that is my shadow side. And I've spent the morning really kind of going through what is my shadow side and what I really don't like about that. And really trying to incorporate, love and accept that and incorporate that. And I realized that I have more work to do, and that this is a spiritual journey. This is about getting to know myself on a soul level and really love myself, and it has nothing to do with him. He's just been the tool. His physical form has just been the tool. When I got home last evening, and when I actually got to lay in my bed and watch a little Netflix last night, just lay around. My dogs are making all kinds of noise, but I miss them too. Really get back to my home, and I was like, it just feels good, and it was just nice. It just felt so good, because basically I kind of went back and forth last week with loving the way his skin felt, and just being close to him, and then just wanting to just get away from him because I just couldn't stand him. So it was like that. It was repelling. It was obsessiveness and repelling, and just being sorry. My neighbors, y'all know how my neighbors are. They're out there doing all kinds of shit. I miss their asses too. My fear-based energy just went wild when it was around him. And so I've spent the morning just really realizing that, it's not even about him at all. And the spiritual guidance that I received was that really he's had to show me, like I said, that your shadow side, the denied parts of you. I really don't even know his personality. I really don't. Maybe someday I will, but for right now, my primary focus is on clearing these last remnants of codependency and really feeling good. I mean, I've been feeling good, but it took him coming in to show me that I wasn't feeling as solid. I wasn't as solid as I needed to be. I was still too focused on him. I was still too focused before I even went on the trip. But he messaged me this morning, will I hear from him? And, with that being said, that's still too much focus on him and not enough on me. So that's my spiel this morning. And I'm going to try to incorporate the downloads that I received on my trip and on returning, because like I said, I received a lot of downloads in my reading. And so with that being said, I would like to call in Santa Marta La Dominadora, who is my patron saint. Martha, I ask that you come in and you help us to receive clarity through these cards. Help me to give the best possible message to my friends on YouTube. Who are also on a twin flame journey. We know this journey, it can be tough, it can be challenging, it can be painful at times. It's painful because, we have to really face ourselves, and we don't want to do that. And so we like to put blame off on others. So with that being said, Santa Marta, I wish that you would come in and help us with this reading today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, for I know it is done. And I am going to shuffle the cards, and I'll pull clarifiers. I haven't read cards, it feels like, in like a week and a half. I didn't take my cards with me. He doesn't know that I do this. He kind of does, but he doesn't know anything about this and the journey, and only I am aware of that. So, as it is with most twin flames. I hope you guys had a good week. I know we had that full moon last week. I experienced that in the mountains. Got to see that big, beautiful red-orange moon over the mountains of the Smokies. It was amazing. It was beautiful. And then laying in the cabin, in the upstairs bed, you could see the moonshine in. And even he had commented on how beautiful the moon was, and he's not a real celestial being. He's don't really believe in all this stuff. He's a Baptist. That's what he believes in. So, we have differences. That's been a trigger as well. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pull a clarifier. Hopefully I still remember how to do this. All right, we have the Six of Coins, clarified by the Whale, the Breach card. And basically what I'm getting with this is this has to do with getting out of the mind. This is not a mental journey. It's not. But if you do attract your fears, and those triggers show up. See, as long as those triggers are showing up, they're here to show you and to lead you and to guide you, as far as they're like road signs. Okay, I need to work on this. Oh, this is showing me fear of loss. Where did this fear of loss come from? Oh, a parent walked out on me. I know my dad walked out on me. I've been abandoned in other relationships. Whatever it is, I'm getting that maybe some of you, you were given up for adoption, or you ended up in the foster care system. That message is coming through for somebody. So you've always attached yourself to others. And the reason why you've attached yourself to others is for, fear of them leaving. And even when, and control is an illusion. So even when we're trying to control a situation, like let's say, for example, every time you go to your twin flame, or the physical form of your twin flame, every time you go to their, because understand, we are our twin flame. They're just the physical form, the other body, the second form. You have to start seeing your twin flame as being you, as that is you. And even if you have to, and I'm going to get back to my point here in a minute, but even if you have to eliminate them for a while, like just block physical contact for a while, so that you can go inward and work more, understand you're still together. You are still together. Another message that had came out for me, and hopefully I can remember what I was talking about a minute ago. Yeah, I do. Was that sometimes the physical form of the twin flame has to appear to be an asshole. Because otherwise, imagine this, okay? Imagine this scenario. Imagine, you remember how it was in the beginning? They just seemed so perfect. Oh my God, they're so perfect. And then they just turned into like this narcissistic asshole or whatever, liar, player, cheater, whatever it is. Imagine if they were just everything we made them out to be. We make them out to be like this. We put them on a pedestal, like, oh wow, they're just so amazing, like, and really they're not. They're not. But imagine if they really were that. We would we would there wouldn't be anywhere, like we would never part, like, understand, I'm looking for the right word. We're never parted, we're never separated. We would never pull back our energy to do our work. Like, never. The message that came through for me on the way home yesterday was, if he were in his divine masculine state, his true divine masculine state, it would be so overwhelming. So overwhelming. So the important thing for me was to take him down off that pedestal and just recognize that all that shit he's showing me is my shadow side, that yin and that yang. He's the shadow, I'm the light. And they balance each other, and you have to balance that. But what I was saying, like with this breach, like, say for example, your fears come up, and you get in your mind, and you start thinking all these obsessive thoughts, which is really hard to do because obsessive thoughts come from not being present. Now understand, if you are with the physical form of your twin flame, like you're actually physically with them and they're triggering the shit out of you, it's really hard to be present. It's just really hard. So this is something where you have to transmute. Try to stay as centered and balanced as you can and transmute these fears. Transmute them by looking at them a different way. I know when I was in my real dark spot last week, my soul kept telling me, look, trust me. Everything that's happening is happening for your highest good. For your highest good. Like, we feel like, like with this breach, like, oh, breach is like something that's broken. Like, we've messed up somehow, and feeling like you're going to mess up is one of the biggest blocks on this journey. And that's the energy I'm getting with this card, feeling like you are breaking, like that balance. You might feel like you've been balanced for a long time, and then all of a sudden you're not, and it's happening for a reason. And my soul actually told me, look, there's a cardinal outside my window. Anything that's happening right now is happening for your highest good. Everything. Don't judge it. Don't look at it as being bad or good one way or another. The other thing that could be coming up is broken trust. Like, maybe you trusted your twin flame and maybe they betrayed you some kind of way. And this is really hard, but this comes, like I said, once again, this is here to show you. And sometimes it's here to show you that you're still too damn dependent and addicted to the physical form of the twin flame. You're too addicted still. Because if you were not addicted to them, you would not be being triggered like this, and this would not feel as bad as it feels. We have the Seven of Staffs, and I'm going to find a clarifier for that card. My energy's still a little low. I probably could have waited an extra day to do readings, and this might be the only one I do today. Marriage. The fairies join you in celebrating wedded bliss. But basically what I'm getting with this card, with the Seven of Staffs, is you see how defensive he looks? Okay, and the staffs are all about a spiritual energy. This is all about manifesting. So basically what I'm getting is that you are blocking your manifestation, you're blocking your wishes and your desires because of these fears that are coming up. Your fears of intimacy, your fears of being vulnerable. I know for me, my thing is every time, he leaves and he comes back, I would want to be like, whoa, no, that is embarrassing to me. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. I have pride, you can't do that. And so then I would, have this guard up, these walls. And these walls are really blocking off that vulnerability. And that you have to not be scared to be hurt. I know it's hard, but you have to not be scared. It's very scary. I understand that. But the fear itself will manifest itself in ways that you couldn't imagine to show you just the opposite of what you want. It's like, okay, you want this vulnerability, you want this closeness, but your fear of intimacy is keeping it away, so you're going to get the exact opposite. You're going to get a lack of intimacy. You're going to get a lack of openness. You're going to get a lack of closeness. You're going to continue getting that distance. At the same time, you have to learn to have boundaries with the physical form of your twin flame. You have to get to where you are like, look, I'm going to walk away from this for a while because I need to put myself first. I need to focus on myself. This is my own self-growth because that is very important to me. And in doing so, you also break that codependency, which is much needed because that is really what this journey is about. This journey is about breaking codependency because codependency is not love. We've been taught codependency. A lot of us have been in codependent relationships, and some of you have been in codependent marriages, and you may still be. I know my marriage was very codependent. I feel like the institution of, and I'm not taking away from marriage, but marriage is a human institution. Basically, the journey that we're on right now is a spiritual, a soulful journey, which is not human. It's not of the physical world. The institution of marriage in itself is very fear-based and codependent because basically you're binding each other. Like, you are mine, you are mine. In the old days it used to be like, the wife was the man's property. There are rules, there are restrictions, and if you break these, it's divorce time, it's separation, you're no longer together, families are torn apart. Spiritual marriage is different. The only people who are really truly married are twin flames. And that is because you are in that spiritual marriage and you're always together in the higher dimensions, always working together, having these human experiences together, returning to your pure form, clearing that codependency, those codependent patterns that you took on when you incarnated here. We have the Page of Swords, and I'm going to get a clarifier for this card. Don't have a lot of Cups energy. There's a lot of Swords energy. It's a lot of mental conflict. And like I said, this is not a mental journey. It's not a journey of the mind. So basically with this Page of Swords, is I'm getting that you're still trying to control the connection instead of letting it flow. Oh, I remember what I was going to say about social media. I'm going to get back to it now. Man, I completely lost. I do that. Okay, so let's say, for example, You are watching the physical form of your twin flame, watching their social media. And in doing so, you're being triggered because you're seeing shit you don't like. I know that always happens with me. You see shit you don't like, and it triggers you. But in doing so, you almost feel like you have control, because even if you don't like it, you at least feel like you know what's going on. You're like, oh, that's what he or she's doing. Okay. Even though I don't like it, at least I'm keeping an eye on it. And even though it hurts, you're still trying to control, and you have no control. And it's this very control that's keeping the physical form of the twin flame away from you. But more than that, you have to let go. You cannot let go of yourself because they are you, but you have to let go of the romantic notions, the romantic expectations of what this is going to look like. You have this romantic ideal in your head of what physical union is going to look like, and you're holding on to dear life. You're still codependent, and you're lying to yourself that you are all right. This is a spiritual journey of which they were the catalyst to get us started, to return to your soul. And a physical relationship with the physical form of the twin flame is the cherry on top. But you have to stop trying to control it, and you have to let go of your obsessive thoughts and understand this is where I'm at too. So as I get more clarity, more downloads, I'll share them with you. But like I said, in the meantime, you might have to cut off, physical contact for a while, just because, to focus on yourself. Now, I've been hearing this a lot lately, that a lot of twin flames work together. I can't even imagine. I just can't imagine. I really can't. And everybody's twin flame journey is different. Everyone has, it's different, okay? Mine is, that we live in different states, and we come together and we trigger the shit out of each other, and then we have distance, we have that closeness where we come together and we trigger the shit out of each other. He triggers the shit out of me. He's not triggered. I'm saying that. He's never triggered. It's just me. It's always just me. And, we have that distance again to where I work on things, and then we do it again. That's been our pattern. But I know for some of you, you work together. And all I can say is boundaries, and really try to work on your obsessive thoughts. And how do you work on your obsessive thoughts? Meditation, nature, trying to see them as the human being that they are, instead of this god or goddess we have on this pedestal that we worship. Take them down. The fairy Norn, planning, patience, cooperation. So once again, with planning, what you plan for. I've been saying for some time that to tell yourself a positive story about the physical form of the twin flame. Tell yourself, let it play in the background. I know they want me. I know that we're going to be together. I'm absolutely awesome. There's no way that they wouldn't want to be with me. But don't even do that. Don't even do that, because that's still focusing on them. And the key is to focus on yourself. I used to, anytime something would happen, I would be like, how's he feel or think about it? No. How do I feel or think about it? So try to pull it back and relate it more to you. But with this planning, patience, and cooperation, I'm getting that you are working together. In the fifth dimension, you're working together and everything's being divinely guided. Trust your soul. That your soul has got this. Your soul wants to be with itself too. They want to be together. The only thing standing in the way are your fears and your conditions and your egotistic cycles that you've been stuck in. But once again, there's no judgment, because let that be your focus. Let that be, even, with everything that kind of came up for me on my trip, part of me wanted him to say, I'm going to come home with you. We'll never be apart again. That didn't happen. But if it did, would I continue doing my growth and my clearing and my learning and all this? Let this be a spiritual journey, and this reading is going to be a little longer than usual. I apologize. Let your spiritual awakening, your ascension, let you be your focus. Take them down off the pedestal, because your soul has this, and your higher selves, which are both parts of your soul, form your soul, are working together right now. But you have to release any type of romantic expectations at this point. That's very important. And sometimes that's why they are an asshole, so that you could be like, fuck this. Fuck this. Queen of Staffs. And I am, with this card, I'm going to pull one of the Heart Oracle cards, because I'm feeling guided to do this. Basically, the energy that's coming up for me with this Queen of Staffs is power, stepping into your power. That power that you have. Take your power back, because basically, the physical form of the twin flame is an addiction. It's an obsession. It can become an illness, a sickness. It's a very addictive energy. It's very much so. And it's in the mind. And something that I channeled on the way home about addictions, because I, smoked a little bit on my trip that I now have to work on, just because my nerves were so shot. And I was like, great, I've got another addiction. Again, basically the the message that came up for me was that when we do something because of the way it makes us feel. And so, like, if you smoke cigarettes or if you drink, that is a feeling you get, and you become addicted to that feeling. It's not the substance itself, it's the way it makes you feel. And I have said before that nothing and nobody can make you feel any kind of way, because those feelings originate with you. And not just that, but we become attached to that substance. It's attachment. We feel like we need it. We can't live without it. And so we really give away our power. So really take your power back. And we do this by taking the physical form of the twin flame down off the pedestal, to where we see them with their human flaws, their human imperfections. We don't understand that within we are divine gods and goddesses, of which they are a part of. But in the physical form, they're no better than us. A lot of times we want to put them above ourselves. Take your power back. Take your power back from substances as well, because nothing and no one can make you feel any type of way. That feeling originates within. Because we have sacred union. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it's truly sacred. This is that self-union. This is that inner relationship. I know it seems less romantic. Our fears and everything want to arise when we even think about it. But I don't know where you guys are at right now in your journey, but I'm to the point where I'm sick and tired of holding on for dear life. Like, just don't leave me. Scared to death I'm going to lose them again to somebody else or whatever else. That this is never going to happen. All those things. This is all about realizing and knowing that you are all right here, right now, by yourself. By yourself. You have everything you need. You are perfect. You are perfect. I know sometimes we feel like if the physical form of our twin flame, and it's really hard, especially if you feel like they are me and they're rejecting me. What? But this just means that we're rejecting ourselves some type of way. We're rejecting ourselves. So if you are feeling very strongly like you are dealing with a lot of obsessive thoughts right now, a lot of overthinking, still feeling very, very addicted to your physical form of your twin flame, I would suggest to cut off that contact for a little while. And don't do it. Intention is everything. Don't do it with the intention of, oh, I'm going to make I'm going to make them feel it. Make them really feel like they've lost me for good. And you know what? That will trigger them to come back. Do we not tell ourselves this? Is that not codependency? Because it's sure not love. So be very honest with yourself. If you have to cut off contact for a while, set the intention that this is for you to feel better and to really detox for a while. I know when you go into my daughter's father was in and out of rehab, and that's how I know this, but the first 10 days of rehab is nothing but detox. You have to go through that detox period first before you can even begin to even work through your triggers as far as what made you start that to begin with, or made you, want to do those things. We have the Six of Cups, and I'm going to pull a Romance Angel card. Sorry, this video is going to be a little lengthy, but we didn't have one last week, so maybe you guys won't mind. Oh, shit. Too many. Hold on. And you know what? That card tried to come out. That was the one I literally just looked at, put back in the deck, and it came out again. We have Six of Cups, clarified by separation. The Six of Cups is all about nostalgia. It's all about looking back. All about looking back. And so basically the energy that I'm getting with this is that all the times in the past that, either your twin flame has ghosted you, you guys have gone through periods of separation. I use air quotes because there's never any separation. These fears are still in you. You're very fearful because of things that have happened from the past. And so these are playing out over and over again because lessons will repeat until they're learned. So this could be that fear of rejection. This is that core wound, that fear of loss that keeps coming up over and over and over again. But understand, it's like layers of an onion. It's like layers of an onion, and to sit up and say that you are complete and you're whole, I'm complete and I'm whole, I've done all my work, is from the ego. Because the soul always wants more growth and more soul expansion. That word came to me yesterday, soul expansion. And maybe I'll be able to elaborate on it more as I get more downloads of information. But we have the separation time apart from your partner is on the horizon. These are your fears, okay? You fear separation. This is that fear of loss, like you're going to lose the physical form of your twin flame. You're holding on for dear life. And this is giving your power away, that the physical form of your twin flame has all the power to make you or break you. And sometimes we get mad about it. Don't you get mad about that? Get really mad. And then we blame them. We take it out on them. Like, you asshole, you're always leaving me. And if you're not leaving me, I'm always scared you're going to leave me. And that's your fault too. I said that this week. That's your fault. You have me feeling this way. That is not true. Separation is an illusion to begin with, okay? You're never, ever, ever separated. This is a fear that's coming up, this fear of separation. face that fear. What would it look like? What would it look like if you were never, and this is going to trigger you. What would it look like if you were never together, if you never came into physical union? What would happen if they left and they never came back again? Start from there. Start working on that. Go within and really focus on connecting to your soul, first of all. And second of all, face that fear. What would that look like? And this is not something you're trying to manifest or create. This is something you're trying to take a good long look at. And understand with the twin flame journey, the law of attraction works differently. You can't focus your intention on being with them and have them because that's the very thing that keeps them away. That's the paradox. The twin flame paradox is the more you focus on them, the more they pull away to anything but you. The minute you start focusing on you, they come towards you again. That was happening to me, and I judged it as good. I was like, yes, I'm balancing. I'm balanced. I'm good. And then when we got together, not so balanced. Because you know what? I was back focused on him again. And I even kind of played with it. I kind of played with it over the week. And I was told to play with it. I would pull back my energy and I'd just go off, in the cabin, do my own thing. I wouldn't pay him no mind at all. I was just self-focused. And here he was just all over me. Just all over me. And then I'd be like, yes, this is good. And then what would happen? He'd pull away again. So it's all about that balance. But, now, it's like even like a deeper level, because when that fear of loss and that fear of separation comes up, that is something that has to be faced, or it's always going to be playing in the background and it's always going to come out in some way, shape, or form or another. But like I said, we cannot manifest our twin flame. Not like we can manifest other things, because they are us. The key to this journey is inward, to focus on yourself. I know we want to focus on them, but take them down off the pedestal. We have the Hermit card. And this is what I was talking about. I would suggest, if you still have this serious, serious fear of separation, especially if you've been through it before, especially if you're on again, off again like I am, it's a terrifying thing. I almost rather for him to have just walked away after like 4 weeks and just never had any more contact, and me to just sit at home and just be obsessed without hearing from him again. Then this coming back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because it's been impossible to balance. It's been so hard. But if you are really still dealing with that fear of separation, those obsessive thoughts, I would suggest going into this hermit mode and cutting off, especially if you are one of the ones who have physical contact. If you still have communication, I would cut that off for a while with the intention of going inward and really focusing on facing this fear. This fear right here. This is the big fear. And this comes from fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, all of those fears, fear of not being good enough. Face this fear. Take a look at what it would look like and face that shit. And I know that's triggering you. I know it is. I realize that. Trust me. I know it's triggering. These assholes across the street. I was glad to get back and start hearing the trains, and I can't wait to get out by the river. I might do that today if I'm not too tired. And that one wanted to come out. I've said before, I'm not best with the chakras. We have the heart chakra. And as you know, when we first had that activation with the physical form of the twin flame, we felt it. It was a physical pain that you felt in your body. And I know I felt mine in my heart. It was a real deep heartache, and I still have that. I still, like, it's been reactivated as far as I still have that heartache. And even after having come home, I still have it. I still have that heartache, and I'm really kind of working through that right now. It's not as bad as what it has been in the past, but it's still there. Um, and the message that I've gotten is that heart pain is letting us know that our heart chakra is open. It's opened, it's fully activated, and that's a good thing. It means we're open to receive. It means we're open to feel, we're open to receive love. And we need to sit with that. And also, it's also, once again, guiding us to I know our fears are in the mind, but basically honor those feelings that are coming up, even those fearful feelings. Honor those, because I know mine are right around the heart area. Honor your feelings, but try to eliminate the obsessive thoughts. If you can just sit with your feelings and just feel for a while. I too am working on the obsessive thoughts. If I find something that helps, I will let you guys know. I'm going to spend some time out in nature. I know my obsessive thoughts had gotten much better, until I went through this experience. I went through this last week, and then, my obsessive thoughts are back again. But I'm working with my team. If you can, the message that I'm receiving right now is if you can meditate. And really, by meditating, you're just sitting in a quiet space. You don't have to hum, you don't have to chant, you don't have to do these things. I was told it's really best to focus on the sound of a fan or like an air conditioner. That's why I get up early in the morning and meditate. Who could meditate in here with that? You can connect to your spiritual guidance. You can really receive that. And that meditation also, where you clear your mind and you become mind-free, is teaching you how to clear those obsessive thoughts and to be more present and to really take in your surroundings. And I feel like what I'm sitting on, I take in senses, my smells, my sights, like I said, the air conditioner going, and really focus on that for a while. And it really helps you to be more present, and it helps you to connect to your team, because you're going to have to connect to your spirit guides in order to advance on this journey, because there's nobody in your physical world that can help you. They don't understand it. Just stop talking to people about it, because when you talk about it, it's really helping your fears to grow. You're really feeding those fears, and you want to starve them out, is what I can say for right now. I'm going to pull a postcard oracle. Should have been shuffling them. And then I will let you guys go. Dearest to you, there are times in life when taking a risk is better left for another day. Other times are perfect for taking that leap, no matter how dangerous it might seem. Well, hold on to your parachute strings, for today is leap time. Realize that no matter what, we will not let you fall down, get lost, or hurt yourself in any way on this one. Even if it may feel like you are in a free fall, we're here for you. And we cannot stop freaking out about you can stop freaking out about getting hurt and relax into this transition to something new. All of the elements are in place, and your soul is ready for a new experience. No matter what you're asking about, it's time to take the risk and do that thing that scares you. No matter what happens, you will land softly, right on target. Don't worry about the outcome. Spirit's got that covered. It's taking that leap itself that's the point. We love you. We love your courage. Embrace it. So basically, take a leap of faith. Trust the universe right now that everything that's happening is happening for your highest good. And stop blocking off your heart out of fear, like that, trying to protect your heart. We had, several defensive cards. It felt like that was the energy that I got from the cards, just being very defensive. So really take that leap of faith and trust and believe that everything's being divinely guided, and keep your heart open no matter what. And do enjoy some solitude this week. And I will talk to you guys next week. Thanks for watching.